Hello, hello, hello. I am back once again every week, sometimes two times a week. I'm crafting with Kim, and tonight I'm going to teach you how to make a fun little string art, mason jar, flower plaque. I guess that's the best way to describe it. All right, so hold on, and we'll get back into it. Okay, guys, as you can see here, I've got um, some new techie skills I'm trying to work at. And I'll tell you straight up, I've got a little bit of echo on my end. And if there is any echo, please let me know on the audio and I'll see what I can do to adjust that. If it's okay on your end, then I'll just deal with it on my own. So like I said, you can see here that I've got this little mason jar string art already set up. And I'm going to walk you through some of the steps, but I didn't want to do all the nailing because it's a little bit time consuming and it's pretty loud. So I'm going to just kind of give you some of the materials and then we're going to string it up and add some really fun stuff to it. All right, so before I get started, I wanted to say once again that I am live streaming from Facebook and YouTube. And I would appreciate if you're on Facebook to please subscribe, hit the notification button, and show me some love. Send me some questions, comments if you have anything. And Facebook, same thing. Please just say hello, give me some comments as you jump on tonight or in the replay. Really appreciate you if you just share it to other people and let them know who I am and what I'm doing. Crafting with Kim. All right, let's get going. All right, so first thing I wanted to you have to have is, of course, a piece of wood. This wood piece is actually a little bit bigger than what you really need for this particular jar, but it's kind of what I had on hand, and I'm going to decorate up on the sides to kind of fill it in. But you could go with a little bit smaller. I actually have like a 7.5-inch board, which I measured, and it did work okay. So, we'll see if that will, if you have whatever kind of board, you would just take and measure it against your template to make sure that works. All right, so let's see. Like I said, I'm going to set my comments real quick in case anybody pops on here. All right, so the first thing, like I said, your piece of wood. You are going to need this little template guy. And if anybody's interested in making one of these, I can send you one. I can digitally send it. Okay, so that's what that is. And you can see that it's numbered. Well, let me show you this. It is numbered 1 through, I think there's 43 points on this one. Okay, the next thing you're going to need, of course, is some little nails. String art, you can do it where it's a little bit lower. The reason I want it when you have like a shorter nail, but in this case, I need it to be a little longer because we're actually going to be sticking some little flowers inside it. So I need to have some height for it. So you can see here that I've got like a little 1-inch kind of nail. It's a little kind of like a finishing nail or poster nail kind of thing, real little guy. Maybe something a little heavier, but this is about 1 inch as far as this guy's go. Okay, so I've already done this one. Of course, you can see that. Of course, you'll need a hammer, trusty dusting hammer. Don't have to be this big. That's one I had on hand. And let's see. You'll need some scissors for your cutting your string. And if you're going to use flowers to stick inside, you might want to grab some of these like little needle pliers with a cutter so that you can, let me show you that, if you can see that. Okay, so that you can cut the wire when you pull the flowers away. You see, I'm going to be using sunflowers tonight. Okay. All right. The only thing you really need, of course, I got some tape here to tape it down. First thing you want to do is get your wood. Now, of course, this is a painted piece of wood. I did like a little simple dry brush effect to get it kind of a worn look. You can pick any color you want. I just like the turquoise, so I use that. And then, of course, you would place your template down where you want it on the wood. And then you just hammer your little nails in to the little numbers here. One thing about the wood that you need to know is that it's really better to use like a pine, some sort of a softer wood. This wood right here is a really hard wood. It was an older piece of wood, and it took me forever to pound the nails in here, and they kept going crooked. So yeah, definitely use a light, softer wood that you can just tap, tap, tap. Okay, but you want to tap them enough, leave them about the same height, so that like when you add your string on, they won't be, wonky as far as in it up and down. Okay, now string. Okay, string I am using is yarn. Actually, the last time I used it, I did use something a little thinner, but yarn will work. And you can use a embroidery thread if you like. I was actually going to do that, but I didn't have any white. I had all kinds of colors but white. So I'm going with the yarn. And yarn might turn out to be good anyway because it's kind of a bulkier piece anyway. So, all right, so here we go. Now, oh, by the way, to measuring out how much string or yarn, here I am already getting a tangle, and I wanted to made it purposely make sure that I didn't have that happen. All right, so, all right, like I said, for your string, I just kind of ran it. I know I got more than I need, but I wanted to make sure I had more than enough. Is I wrapped it around like I think 4 times. Just wrapped it around like 4 times to make sure that I was going to have enough. I mean, I could have left it on my skein, my yarn skein here, but I wanted to, it's kind of awkward to do it that way. So I just made sure that I got more than enough, and I'll just cut it off when I'm done. Oh, by the way, if I wasn't doing like a white representation, I thought it'd be really cool to use this twine. The twine is really cool. You get a very rustic kind of a look. Now I know this is, the reason I kind of chose this tonight is I've been focusing on a lot of summer, and of course it's still really hot in Florida, and I'm still into the beach and the sunshine, but we got to start thinking about fall, guys. Happy fall, y'all. It's coming up. So I did something that's a little bit more fall related. And I mean, it's still using sunflowers, but sunflowers can kind of be into the fall. All right. Okay, so here I go. First thing you want to do is you want to find your number 1 nail, and you just tie it off. Make it a nice, strong knot. Hope you guys will be able to see this. And like I said, if I'm having any technical difficulties, like I said, I got this echo going in the background in my ear because I got an earbud in. And if it sounds too echoey on your end, let me know. And I have music going, but I can't hear the music. So if you do hear the music, let me know about all my audio stuff. Okay. And I'll try to adjust that. But please say hello when you come on. I'd really appreciate it. Give me some comments. Tell me what you think. Give me questions. All right. So I think I got a good strong knot. I kind of yanked on it a little bit. All right. So what you do, and it kind of gets a little bit tangled up in your nails here, but you're going to kind of do like wrap it around 1 time. Oh, I can hear the music now. Hopefully you guys can hear it and it's not too loud. Okay. So you saw how I just wrapped it around. And I'm going to do the same thing. So you just basically go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You can see I'm keeping it really tight. I've got a nice tight taut feel up to it. 15. Oh, I missed that one. That one came off. 16. Come on. Uh-oh. See, I lose it a couple times. You got to keep it nice and tight. 17. 18. You kind of use your finger, your other finger to kind of support it. So I'm on 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. I got 28. Gets a little tight right in here with all these little small guys. I see I got 29. Make sure you do that little loop. Where's my 30? Oh, 30 is up here. Oops. You can kind of push the string down a little bit to get to it. Okay, we got 31, 32, 33. Oops. Left. Come on. There we go. Got it loose. 33. Where's 34? 34 is back up here again. It's almost like 4 and 34 are the same. 34, where's 35? Oh, 35 is the same as 5. Run it down again. Okay, you're kind of doubling up on that. You got 36, and we got 37, and 38 is the same as 28. Got to go around again. And then 39. I'm just kind of pushing the string down the first loop and then going around to the second one. 40, 41, 42. All right. And let me see. Last one's going to be a little tricky. We got 43, which is the same as number 6. Okay, now, all right, you see I got this thing held nice and tight. That went pretty fast, didn't it? Actually, as long as you hold it tight, kind of push it down and hold it with your other finger, you're doing pretty good. All right, you see I have a hole punch left over. So I'm going to kind of cut this so I don't have to pull that string through. But make sure you give yourself enough slack to be able to tie it off, and then you can tie it off again because you don't want to have a little short string when you're trying to do this. All right, so I'm going to kind of hold it with my left hand, if you're left, right-handed, whichever, and I'm going to tie a knot, which I'm basically trying to loop it through underneath, and I'm coming back up to make a knot. If I get that first knot, then I can let it go and do my other knot. Whew, I did it. Nice and tight. Okay, it's hard to see against the white paper, but I'm going to be taking that white paper off in a minute. Okay, all right, so I'm going to do another tight little knot here, and then I can cut all that off. All right, see, this is a real simple one. You know, string art is actually kind of cool. You know, it's obviously made a resurgence. I'm a product of the 60s. And of course, I remember 60s and 70s. String art was really, really big back then. And it's kind of made a comeback. Actually, I'm going to put another third knot in there just to be on the safe side. And I've actually got some what I call my artifacts, which I do every time I go live. I like to tell a little bit about history or some ideas or facts about whatever I'm working with, whether it be the material or the subject. So in this case, my artifacts for tonight, I'm going to talk a little bit about string art, and I'm also going to talk a little bit about mason and ball jars, the history of that. Okay. All right, so I did have one viewer. I just wanted to see who it might have been that came on here. Nobody, I guess. There was somebody on. All right. Anyway, okay, now that I've got the string art done, basically we're just going to take this off. Don't need this anymore. Rip it right off. Rip it right off like a Band-Aid. Song says, right? All right. All right. I sure hope that you guys don't have that echo going on. See if I can, I'm going to try this and see if I can switch it over. No, it's still got echo. Okay, I'm going to go back over here. All right, so anyway, you know what? Let me do this. Let me change my view. You guys don't really need to see me that much, and you can see this better. Switch it off. Change her up. Come on. There we go. Okay, now you don't need to see my mug that much. Okay, so yeah, you can see that I'm just tearing this off, throwing this away. All little pieces out of there. And see, now you can see the little jar. It's cool, huh? I'll hold it up. There you go. We've got a little jar. It's so cool. I love dimensional things. All right, so the jar. Now, what are we going to do with this jar? Well, what I'm going to do is decorate it up a little bit on the front of it. And I'm also going to add some, I think some buttons. I got some buttons on the side. And then we're going to add some flour. Oh, by the way, I'm supposed to promote this Mexican candy. Yeah, my guy, Robert, I love him to death. He's from Mexico, and he loves these little candies. He just told me to say hi about these candies. There's some little caramel candies. All right, so I'm not going to eat it right because I'll have a mouthful of candy. I'll eat it afterwards. All right, here we go. So what I picked out to put on mine is a little bit of lace. I've got this. It's actually a stretchy lace. See that? It's a little stretchy lace. I like the fact that it's stretchy because it kind of gets nice and taut across it. I already pre-cut it, and I might trim it a little bit when I put it on, but pretty much I've just kind of cut it to size. And then I've got this really fun little piece of strip of burlap. Now, a person could take burlap or any other kind of fabric. This is really flexible. You can do a lot of things with it. So, but like I said, I was kind of going with the white lace because it gives it kind of a pretty little thing. Now, of course, what I'm going to do with this is I have to push the yarn down a little bit from the nails so I can put this on here. The reason, I mean, if you're not, the lace also is good because it's got holes in it and it's easy just to push right on there. If you were using regular fabric, you'd have to kind of pre-punch a hole or something like that, make a hole ahead of time to be able to put it on. All right, so like I said, I do want this to be pretty tight. Okay, let's see. I think this is, it didn't really matter what's the top or the bottom. All right, so I'm just I'm going to go ahead and put mine all the way down, not all the way down, but like pretty close. Now I'm basically just like hooking it over the nail heads. All right, I did the top ones and then I did the bottom ones first. Then I can go back, like I said, I have to push my yarn down a little bit, have space to put that on there. Just use your nail, or if you don't have any nails, you can use like a little edge of a knife or scissors. All right, and then I'm just going to put that right on there. Just add them on there. I'm trying to add it to the part where it's a little heavier. See if they'll stay on better. Okay. But once you get them on there, they usually do just stay right on. If it's tight enough. Hopefully it won't rip a hole. If that would be the case, you just have to find another little spot, put it on. Okay, so you can kind of see what I've got there. All right, it's kind of neat. And I'm just going to trim it off a little bit. Get it as close as you can. Of course, you don't want to get it way super close because you don't want it to be coming off the nail. All right. Let's see. Get this edge here too. Clean it up pretty good. All right, so let me talk a little bit about my artifacts for tonight. So what I found out, first off, we're going to talk a little bit about the string art. String art, of course, I just mentioned earlier, became popular as an art form, or craft form, in the 60s. However, it originated, I got a little cheat sheet notes here. Let me see. Oh, the origins in a curved stitch by, the origins began in the 19th century by Mary Everest Bull. She used it as the origins of a curved stitch to make math more understandable for children. So it was a math thing. It really wasn't a craft thing. And that was in the end of the 19th century. And then it became in the late 60s for, like I said, for craft. So that's kind of cool. Because of the angles, I guess they would, I don't know much about math on it. I'm really math illiterate. But the angles of putting, how am I trying to say, triangles and shapes and things like that with art, I think that's the way that they initially were using it for math to help the kids visually see. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And what else do I got here? Something about, I think that's all I really got for string art. I didn't say much about it. Most of the stuff I have about the jars and the ball jars, but I'll tell you a little of that in a minute. All right, so we got this far. Now, like I said, this is kind of cute on its own, but I'm going to go ahead and add this little piece of burlap to it. Golly, like I said, I wish somebody was on here to tell me if I've got this echo. I certainly don't want to have to go back after I do all this and listen to it, the replay, and find out that it's echoey for you guys, which means it was kind of like nobody wants to hear an echo. I can definitely hear the music though. That's cool. All right. Oh, just realized that this burlap had a little wire in it. All right. So yeah, see, I added the little burlap piece. Kind of added a little interest. Yeah, this is kind of like I said, like a fall or like the country kind of feel to it. At least that's what I think of farmhouse. They call it farmhousing these days. All right, so there it is. I mean, that's basically my jar. Now, like I said, you could add different things or add ribbons or whatever. So I thought what I would do to kind of fill up the space, because I had such a large piece of wood, is I got some buttons. I have some buttons that I got from the Dollar Tree. Believe it or not, they have like little jars of buttons for $1, and they all sorted different buttons. So I thought maybe I'd add the buttons. Kind of like, I'm not sure. The last time I made this, I used the little clear glass nuggets, which are kind of cute too. But I figured, yeah, the buttons are kind of cute. They're more like country sort of. So I figured I'd try these and add a little extra color. A little kind of more rustic. I don't know what you guys think. Should I stick with the buttons? I think so. Because I'm also going to be adding the sunflowers. Okay, the sunflowers are going to go in here. Okay, I think the sunflower and the buttons are kind of cool. All right, so I'm just eyeballing the buttons, keeping them kind of even. Of course, they're not all the same, which I kind of like that look anyway. If you wanted them all the same, or once again, you could also get a little piece of ribbon or more burlap or whatever, and just kind of finish it out any way you want to. Now I've got my handy dandy. And it's definitely hot, my glue gun. And I'm going to go ahead and just glue these guys onto here. For those of you who have never used a glue gun before, I just want to tell you that they're super hot. You got to be very careful because you can definitely burn yourself. And here's a little trick too about how to keep from burning your fingers. Say you need to get one of these, it creates these little like spider web strings. If you want to pull those off or something and the glue is still hot, you might not think it's very sanitary, but what I do is you can actually do this number. You can kind of like just lick your fingers a little bit, the tips of your fingers, and you can grab the glue like really quickly. As long as your fingers are wet, it won't burn you. It's a cool little tip. So, all right, go ahead and finish gluing these on. But while I'm gluing these on, tell you a couple more artifacts here. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about the jars, the mason jars and the ball jars. First off, the mason jars, it was named after a man named John Landis Mason. And he invented them in 1858. He was only 26 years old. I keep stopping sometimes because I hear that echo in my ear. But yeah, he was 26 years old. Now, he did get a patent on the jars, but the patent expired. Well, let me see, in 1885. Oh, the patent expired in 1879. So he never really did make any money off them. As a matter of fact, he invented the lid first, then the jar. But I don't know why he didn't make any money. I'm not sure. Maybe they weren't popular or whatever. But I guess once the patent came out, somebody else got a hold of it. And then the ball company came roaring in, and they started producing these guys. So the ball jars, we have mason and we have ball. And let me see. Oh, interesting too is the same guy, John Mason. He supposedly created the first salt and pepper shakers. Kind of cool. And let me see about the ball jars. Okay, the ball jars came into be in 1884. Okay, then I'm looking at my dates, expiration dates. Well, the patent expired in 1879. If ball jars started in 1884, that means that they actually started doing these before the patent ran out. So I'm not sure how that works. Oh, wait, no, my bad. See how horrible I am at math? 79, and they started in 84. So almost 10 years, 7 years. Okay, so the ball started making them after the patent came out. Okay. And there's interesting too for, who's on there? Who's saying hi to me? Well, I mean, I see a viewer. Whoever you are, you better say hello. I'm lonely out here with the crickets. Who's that? Victoria. Okay, I see Victoria. Okay, Victoria, you ain't give me no love yet. You better say hello, at least say hi. Because I can actually see who's actually live. Okay, so anyway, ball. The ball jars, there is a number on the bottom of each jar, and that number actually represents the mold number. Something about the positioning of the jars in the machine when they make them. So there's a number on the bottom. All right. Like I said, if anybody's viewing, and you can check my audio and let me know if, number one, if you can hear music, and number two, if you have an echo, because I'm hearing echo on my end. I've got a Bluetooth. This is kind of a new technology for me that I'm trying. And I've been playing around with the audio, and I thought I had it right, but as I'm going live, it's acting up on me. So, yeah, just let me know, because I know it can be very annoying. Nobody's going to want to watch it. It's got an echo. It's hard enough for me to talk with an echo. All right, so I'm going to cut this little end off here. This is where these little wire cutters come in handy. So what I did is, I'll show you. Well, I guess I can't show you. I've already got it put away. I had a full bouquet. I just got these from the Dollar Tree of the sunflowers. And I just took them apart, kind of ripped them apart. And then I took my little wire cutters and just cut them down. I wanted the stems on them because I want to be able to slide them down in here. And I'm going to secure them a little bit with hot glue just so they don't move around. Okay. Oh, and also thing too about this, when you're prepping your board, of course, if you want this to hang, you'd want to put a little hanger on the back, which I already did on this one. Like I said, I've had this one for some time. Little sawtooth hanger or some sort of little hook hanger. Or you could even drill holes on the side and put a little string or rope or twine or whatever, you know. Okay. All right. So anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and put the flowers in there. Now, I noticed too, because when you put these in here, they're kind of tight. So I didn't want to put both leaves on there because it looks too full and bulky. So I'm just going to kind of place them in there wherever I thought they were kind of cute. And of course, when it stands up, you want your flowers to bend a little bit, to bend forward. I kind of just making one a little bit higher than the other. Just poke it down in there a little bit. Now I got to find a kind of, I'm trying to hold it down with my finger. I got to find a spot to put some hot glue. Try to put the hot glue. You know, I got to thinking, I probably should have put this fabric on top after I did the flowers, but I'll figure it out. I can just push it forward. Yeah, I'm going to bend this a little bit so it kind of stays flat against the wood, because I'm putting this one over the other stem. I mean, you don't have to do that, but it's kind of crisscrossing. Make it lay flat. Now, maybe I shouldn't make it lay flat. I mean, a crisscross. That way I can get it to lay flat against the board. Okay, you can see I'm having a little bit. Let me take this one out. Do one at a time. Okay. All right, so I got that one. I'm going to hold that down and see if I can. I have to kind of form it because I want it to be able to be against the board, because if you don't have it against the board when you glue it down, it's going to want to pop up on you. All right, so I'm going to pull that a little loose for a second. I'm kind of hiding my hot glue underneath the fabric. Okay, so I'm going to put one little dollop on there. Oh, hey, looks so pretty. Hey, Miss Kim. Hey, love the sunflowers. Hey, Victoria. Thank you, darling. Yeah, the sunflowers. I mean, who the heck doesn't love sunflowers? By the way, can you tell me, does my audio have an echo on your end? If you're still watching, I really am concerned about the echo, because I've got a Bluetooth earbud on and it's echoing like crazy. But I don't want to stop and, you know, if it's not on the broadcast, because I'll just deal with it. But I do need to know if you can hear the echo and if you can hear the music. All right, so that one's, of course, you know, with the hot glue, you do need to hold it in place a little bit. Audio sounds good. Yes, thank you, rocking it. Like I said, I can deal with it on my end, even though it's a little bit of a delay and it's kind of driving me crazy. But at least as long as everybody else can hear it okay. Can you hear the music? I was going to do I did a test before and it was fine, but coming on here live, it kind of acted up on me. All right, so I got one flower. I'm going to put another little blip right here on the bottom. I'm going to realize I'm going to have to take this off, get to it. So don't do what I just did in the beginning. It'd be better to put your flowers in and then put your fabric on top, because you don't want the glue to show. It's kind of tacky. All right, so I'm going to pull this one off right here too. It's easy enough to put back on. All right, so there's one flower. All right, audio sounds good. I guess it's good. All right, now I'm going to try to arrange this one in here. And you know what? I want to put a little bit up here too. Hopefully, to slide that in there. Hopefully that won't be able to see too bad. One thing about hot glue, if you don't like it, especially on something like wood, you can just pull it right off once it dries. Of course, don't touch it till it's dry and burn your fingers. Okay. Ooh, I hate those spider webs on that thing, on that stuff. All right, here we go. Next one. We're going to put this little guy here. Like I said, I want it to be higher, a little interest. And I can arrange my little leaves once I get in there. So, like I said, I want to try to get that wire so it lays a little bit flat. Kind of bend it so it's laying flat against your wood. So when you hot glue it, it won't pop up on you. I think that looks pretty cool right there. Oopsie. Dang, once it keeps turning. Let's see. I need to put that down a little bit more. Oop. Man, that is a crazy echo on my end. All right. I got to figure out the echo situation. I've been watching all these tutorials on StreamYard. Everybody telling me what to do, and they sound good, but then when I try to do it myself, it ends up being whacked out. All right. And I'm like so determined to want to do 2 cameras and music. I like having music when I do my work. I think it gives a little interest for the listeners too, or viewers. All right. So my second hot glue on the second one. And got to hold it for a second until it dries. Let's see, what else while I'm waiting on the glue to dry? It's like waiting for paint to dry. So mason jars. Oh, this is kind of cool. This is a cool little fun fact, 2 little fun facts. In 2015, the number of mason jars bought, so it was like a huge surge or something with mason jars. I have to look up and see what kind of crafting thing was going on in 2015, or maybe people doing a lot of canning. But in 2015, people bought enough mason jars that would encircle the entire planet. I'm like, dang, that's a lot of jars. Okay, I thought that was kind of cool. All right, come on now, stay, stick. See how I can kind of use my finger and push it down. I got to put another one up in here though to hold that down. Okay, another cool fact about the mason ball jars is that they're actually in the Guinness World Book of Records. Yeah, is that right? Guinness World Book of Records for somebody created a mosaic using the mason jars. So the blue jars, white. I'm not sure if they make red ones, but they might have painted them because I looked at the picture. But they used 2,000 jars to make a mosaic of a jar. And they actually put the ball on there instead of, or I guess whoever did it, the ball on there instead of mason. I don't know. I've always called them mason jars. I know balls have been around forever, and I have some ball bars. But tell me, has anybody out there used mason jars or ever done any canning? Initially, of course, you know, they were used for canning. I mean, who hasn't had used a jar of some sort sometime in their life? Okay, I'm hoping that's going to stay. All right, we'll let that dry up, and I think it's going to be okay. All right. Let me put my little lace fabrics back on. Like I said, next time, if you decide to do this, don't do what I did. Put your fabric on after. I got a little wonky here. What do I do? I think I got to pull it up a little bit more. Did I have it at right here? I don't even know where I initially had it at. Come on, there. Come on, you hold. There we go. Okay, slip this guy on. I got this thing pulled pretty darn tight. Anybody else there? Oh, yes, I love mason jars. What do you use mason jars for? Everybody's had them. Everybody's used them. I've made candles out of them. Of course, I've used them to, I still use them today in the kitchen. I like to put drinks in there, teas, things like that, or store, liquid items. And they're fun to drink out of too. And what else I use mason jars for? I mean, they can just about anything. They're so stinking cute. I like the green ones and the blue ones. Those are my favorite. Of course, you can paint them these days. You can do just about anything with glass. Offals for storing. Yeah, absolutely. Storing. All right, I'm holding this up for a second. That looks pretty cute. I'm going to be honest with you. I can see a little blip of that hot glue, and I might remove that, but I think I would remove it later. But basically, you can see it. Yeah, for storing. And what was I going to say that I ever do with the mason jars? Oh, you know how if anybody's into kind of like eating healthy, you can make those little pre-made salads in a jar, or the oatmeal stacks with the oatmeals and the almond milk and the nuts and whatever you want to add to you just put it in the fridge overnight, and then next thing you know, you shake it up and have an instant breakfast or whatever you snack. It's funny, I was doing those for a while and I forgot about them. And then this past weekend, someone who mentioned those to me, and it was actually like this little country dude. And I'm like, what, you do that? I thought about that and I thought, oh, okay, I need to do that again. Okay, let me see. Let me get back here. Move myself up a little bit. All right, so you can see that this is pretty much it. I mean, it didn't take long, and it's really cute. You could add any kind of flowers. To tell you the truth, the first time I made one of these, I made it for a friend of mine for her birthday. And let me see who's there. That is looking, isn't it so cute? I'm telling you, it's looking, like I said, you could change out your fabrics, your color of your string. I thought about doing like one with red or whatever. I mean, it, kind of runs the gamut, whatever you do. But the first one I made, like I said, was a tan background. I did the same lace because the lace was just really kind of cool. And hers had red flowers, like a big blue with some red and some shoots and things. But you could put like really cool, like dried flowers. They don't have to be the artificial. You could put like really cool dried flowers, eucalyptus or whatever. Oh, hey, Luann, that's my cousin from Alabama. Girl, I am so glad to see you. You finally stopped on one of my lives. Isn't this cute? Luann just had a birthday on 4th of July. She's a firecracker, right? All right, so anyway, and then of course on the sides, like I said before, I had put the little glass nuggets, red and white. She's into red. Her got a lot of red decor, so I did like a red theme. So like I said, you could come up with all sorts of different things. Any other questions about this or ideas or comments you want to make? Yeah, you got to make it. And like I said, remember, if you didn't pop on the beginning, Victoria and Luann, but you can catch the replay. But I want to let you know the one thing you need to know about, I'm going to change this a little bit. Oh, wait a minute. Wrong one. Where am I kind of at here? Oh, well, I'll leave it. Me and my technical skills. All right. So about the wood, is this piece of wood here is like a really super hard wood. I'd had it somewhere laying around and I just needed a piece of wood to try it on. And this took forever to nail the little nails in. So do not use hardwood. It'll be forever and your nails will bend. Pine is really the way to go. Or even that hard, what's it called? Like that brown wood, I call it hardboard. Don't use that either. Just make sure it's a really, really, honestly, pine's going to be your best. Plywood, too heavy, too hard. Don't use that. That way your nails are going, you'll be able to tack them in really quick and have it nice and raised up and put your things in there. Okay. All right, ladies. I gave you my artifacts. I gave you a little lesson. We're kind of gearing up for fall a little bit here. I know some of these people are doing like the Christmas in July. I got to wrap my head around that because I'm still like going to the beach. So, but I'll start doing some Christmassy things, get with the program. But this is a transition. This is a fall transition. I might still throw some summery things in there, but I'm trying to start working or fall, winter, Christmas. All right, guys. Love everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Please share. I will definitely watch from the beginning. I really want to do this. Honestly, Luann, it's super simple. And you'll see that you'll need the little, here, let me show you again. You'll need this little template, which I can actually, let me see how I can do this. I'm not going to mail it to you, but I can send it to you like in an email or through Messenger, and you can just print it out. Okay? It's just on 8x10 sheet. You only need like half the sheet, but you will need this little guy to put down on the board so you can follow the numbers. But it's really fast. Okay? All right, guys. Okay, ladies, please share the love. Hello, subscribes, everything. YouTube, Facebook. Love you guys. Till next time. See you next week. Bye-bye.